All right, here's the beginning of lesson 1.4, which is identifying um, proportional relationships using graphs. That means that we are going to look at the coordinate plane. So here are your warm-up questions. Go ahead and pause the video, take about 5 minutes to answer these questions. It says write the ordered pair for each description. Go ahead and pause your video now. All right. Now that you have completed those questions, let's go over them real quick. So from the origin, remember the origin is 0, 0 on a graph. So if I were to draw this, let's make a big enough one that I can kind of use it, right? We're drawing this. So 6 units right. I'm going to go from my origin, which is 0, 0. 6 units right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 units up. 1, 2. It's going to be that point right there. So I have 6 in the positive and 2 in the positive. That is my ordered pair. My left and right is always first on the x-axis. My up and down is always second on the y-axis. So going number 2, going back to our origin. 3 units left, so 1, 2, 3. So now we're in the negative numbers and 5 units up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is not a two-scale graph. It's just an example. So up 5. My point is here. So we said, remember, to the left is negative. Up 5, negative 3, 5. From the origin back to our 0, 0 in the middle. Down 8 units. Uh-oh, we did down first this time. That's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And right 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I still am going to write my left right first and then my up down. So I went right, which is positive 9. Down is negative 8. I'm always going to write my left right first. I'm always going to write that x first. And then the y will follow. So back to the origin. 0, 0. 12 units down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And 1 unit left. So we're right here. So that 12 down is a negative. So I'm going to write the answer on the other side. Negative 12. And then I went 1 to the left, which is also a negative. Negative 1. All right. So Jack's house. So from Jack's house, he walks 4 blocks east, then 3 blocks south to get to the school. If Jack's house is at the origin, so he's here in the center, on a coordinate plane, at what ordered pair is the school? So I'm going to redraw this a little bit. So here's Jack's house. It's here. If we are using north, south, east, west, I'm going to put those directions on. Oops, that should be not a W. That should be an S. North, south, east, west. Looks just like a compass rose, but it is also my X and Y axis. Jack lives here at the center. He walks 4 blocks east. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 3 blocks south. 1, 2, 3. It's going to be right here. So we went right 4. And we went down, or negative 3. So I can do this with directions if I know that the house is at the origin. All right, what standards are we working with? We are looking to represent proportional relationships between quantities. Last lesson we did ratios in a table. We are now doing graphing on the coordinate plane and looking to see if the graph is a straight line through the origin. We'll have some practice with that later. You're going to identify the constant of proportionality. Remember, that is the same, that is the unit rate. So if I have something that's 24 to 1, my constant is 24. It is that number that I have to multiply by to get however many of them I have. Explain what a point X and Y on the graph of a proportional relationship means in terms of the situation. 0, 0 being the origin, and 1R, where R is the unit rate. So you can determine if a relationship is proportional by analyzing its graph. You'll be able to do that. Understand the connection between the point 1R and the proportional relationship and the unit rate. How that works. We'll be able to use graphing tools. This is in the McGraw-Hill. You're going to have some practice in that for work for me. It'll be awesome. It's pretty easy. I'll show you how to do it. And you will clearly explain the characteristics of the graph of a proportional relationship. There's a couple big characteristics. By the end of this lesson, we'll be there. Not this lesson, this unit today will be about halfway there. Our vocabulary. Proportional. Two quantities are proportional if they are equivalent. What did we say equivalent meant? It means equal. They're the same. Non-proportional. Non means not, means they are not equal. They are not the same number. I have a bunch of different ratios. In the constant proportionality we just talked about, the constant is the same value as the unit rate. Again, 24 hours to 1 day. How many hours are in a week? I'm going to take the 7 days in a week, multiply it by 24. My unit rate, my constant of proportionality is that number that I multiply by. It has the same value. All right, let's do our launch. If you have a job, your employer may pay you based on the number of hours you work. In this case, the total amount of money you earn is proportional to the total number of hours worked. Why? Why is this proportional? Well, it's proportional because you're going to earn the same amount of money per hour. So I earn the same amount. Let me get my thing here. Same amount of money per hour. And it's not like I earn $10 for the first hour and $6 for the second hour and $8 for the third hour. I earn $10 per hour, no matter what I'm doing. If we make a graph, oops, we went too far. I forgot about that. If we make a graph, what would the x-axis represent? What would the y-axis represent? So my x-axis, because I want to add number of hours I worked to how much money, my x is going to be the number of hours, and the y-axis is going to be the money. All right, so here's our graph. Let me go change my pen color because I did it in blue. We're going to switch to orange. All right, so here's our graph. The amount earned is my y-axis. It goes up and down. Y is vertical. Your x-axis is your horizontal. That is how much time I have worked. Ooh, I clicked out. All right, so the graph shows a relationship between the number of hours worked and the total amount earned. How can you use the graph to determine how much is earned in 10 hours? Well, if I look at this, it doesn't go to 10 hours worked. So I can't add on, I'm out of space. So, but I can look here. See, so this goes through my origin. That tells me it's proportional. It goes through the origin. So if I can look at my one whatever, that 1 hour tells me that I make $10 per hour. That is my unit rate. So it's $10 to every 1 hour. If I work 10 hours, I'm going to take my 10 hours, multiply it by my unit rate, or what else do I call that? My constant of proportionality, which is 10. Remember, they're the same. So 10 hours times $10. My 0, I don't care about because it's all 0. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 1 is 1. I'm going to make $100 in 10 hours. That's how that works. All right, so this is the end of part 1. We're going to go ahead and flip over. If you want to follow along in part 2, we're going to be in the McGraw-Hill curriculum.